JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, licensed farm holder says gun was stolen. Michael Issa, a businessman and a licensed farm holder, was hauled before the court to answer to charges of negligent loss of firearm, indecent language, and resisting arrest, is to return to court on April 11. When he appeared in the St. James Parish Court on Thursday, Issa pleaded not guilty to other charges. His defense to the first charge was that his gun had been stolen. His bail was extended until his next court appearance. Issa is the stepfather of 9-year-old Gabriel King, who was found in his mother's vehicle with his throat slashed on January 13. The car, which was found on Oak Hill Avenue in Fairfield Estates, had been reported stolen only minutes earlier. Investigations continue into the death of the young autistic boy. The cases are unrelated. Recently passed legislation states that a licensed farm holder who is found guilty of losing his farm through negligence shall be liable to a fine not exceeding $100,000 or 12 months imprisonment with or without hard labor. Man murdered at his gate in Rose Garden. A man was gunned down at his gate in Rose Garden in Kingston on Wednesday night. His 23-year-old Kemar Blair, his girlfriend, was grazed by a bullet. It is reported that about 8 p.m. loud explosions were heard and Blair was found suffering from gunshot wounds. He was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Him be stung right here so him get the shot them and him drop. Whole heap of shots him get. Them walk up on him, a relative said yesterday. The shooting happened in a section of the community known as Spoilers, which over the past 15 months has seen sporadic gun crimes. Residents said that after they attacked the gunmen while escaping on foot, opened firing persons along the roadway. He was a businessman. Him did sell him gas and him also do construction, a relative said. This morning me cry. Me still not get the clear or go on. Me not see my fire no shot or anything like that. Him not in a no conflict, his uncle said. Up to March 15, the Kingston Central Police Division recorded 8 murders. This represents a 60% reduction when compared to the 20 homicides recorded during the corresponding period in 2021. St. James driver crushed by bus after jack slips. A bus driver was crushed to death while repairing his vehicle on Thursday afternoon in St. James. That is 43-year-old Leslie Ward, otherwise called Bobby, from Maroon Town in the parish. Ward used a jack to elevate the vehicle, then removed the wheel so he could work freely. The jack slipped and the vehicle fell, crushing him. Individuals nearby tried to help, but he later died. In a second incident in the parish, a woman tending goats in her banana farm stumbled upon the lifeless body of a man. He was later identified as Lyndon Forbes, who also goes by the name Sonny or Son. Forbes was found lying on his back about 9:15 a.m. The police were summoned and he was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The Cambridge police are investigating. Man gunned down in Manchester. Police are probing the murder of a man in Newport, Manchester on Thursday night. The victim has been identified as 47-year-old Dexter Mitchell, otherwise called Gangster, a labourer of Newfield District in Newport. A report from the Constabulary Communications Unit said that about 8:20 p.m., residents heard loud explosions and alerted the police. Mitchell was found suffering from gunshot wounds in a section of the Newport Main Road. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Security guard charged after cops discover rifle under his bed. A security guard was arrested and charged after a Winchester Marlin rifle was found under his bed. He has been identified as 41-year-old Richard Smith. Reports are that lawmen were conducting a joint police-military operation in Church Lane, Gordon Penn in the parish on March 17, when Smith's residence was searched. The weapon was subsequently found in his room, underneath his bed, wrapped in a bath towel. He was charged with illegal possession of firearm following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. His court date is being finalized. Gun and ammo seized in Kingston, man in custody. One man was arrested in connection with the discovery of a gun and 11 rounds of ammunition on Morgan's Lane, Kingston 8. The seizure comes after a shooting incident in the area on Thursday, March 17. Reports from the Constant Spring Police are that about 7:30 p.m., 3 men were involved in an altercation. One of the men left the area and returned with a gun and fired at the 2 other men, injuring them. One of the men, in fear of his life, used a machete to chop the gunman. The gunman fled the scene and a report was made to the police. The area was searched and one CZP-09 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 11 9mm rounds of ammunition was found at a nearby premises. The police then pursued leads, which subsequently led to the gunman's arrest. All 3 men were taken to hospital for treatment. The gunman was placed under police guard. Investigations are ongoing. Suspects held in Hanover triple killing. Several people have been taken into custody by the police as investigations continue into Wednesday night's triple murder that has left the Hanover community blanketed by fear. The police theorized that the attack, which also left 4 others injured, may be linked to an extortion racket being run by the 100 Run gang that operates out of the Green Island section of Hanover. It is a continuation of the criminal network where they believe they can get money from business people and other persons in furtherance of their criminal activity. Head of the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Communications Unit, Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay said, "They make demands for money to be paid over to them, even though they're not a part of the staff of the companies or establishments. They demand money, and they use different ways to include threat, force, and intimidation. Persons would pay over money to them because of fear," she added. The police on the ground have not said how many people are in custody, and they have also not ruled out other possible motives. There could be gang, extortion, reprisal and counter-reprisal. There are a lot of issues that investigators are looking at, and we are not ruling out any at this stage, said Assistant Commissioner of Police, ACP Clifford Chambers, who is in charge of the Area 1 Division, where 5 people were killed on Wednesday. Hanover is part of the division. Chambers anticipates that there will soon be a breakthrough in the triple murder. Persons have been picked up, persons are being profiled, statements are being recorded, but we'll wait on the detectives to give us a direction, he said. Those taken in were picked up during an ongoing operation by a joint security force team in the parish as lawmen probed the attack that claimed the lives of 44-year-old Omar Mahabi, 55-year-old Michael Smith, and 37-year-old Mark Austin. Mahabi and Smith are from Logwood, while Austin is from Orange Bay. Those injured in the attack, some of whom have been hospitalized with serious injuries, range between 28 and 44 years old. Police report that shortly after 7 p.m., the men were installing security cameras at a mini-mart located at the Logwood Suntoy Crossroads when gunmen posing as customers opened fire on people outside. Smith and Austin died on the spot, and their bodies were removed to Doyley's funeral home after the crime scene was processed about 12:35 a.m. Thursday. Mahabi was pronounced dead at Noel Holmes Hospital in the parish. Smith's sister, who asked not to be identified by name, is looking for answers. She is hoping the police will find his killers, so she can look them in the face and ask why. What my brother do? My brother not do anything. Another of Smith's sisters said her brother, who worked at a hotel in the Grill, was not one to roam the streets, and his death has come as a shock. The way I'm gone, me never expect it, because him is not a man on the streets, just work to home, the grieving sibling said, adding that her brother had been good and loving. ACP Chambers said family members affected will be provided with counseling and the necessary support. We're not just looking for criminals in this, as we're also seeking to meet the needs of the families who have been affected by the murders, he said. The senior officer added that Wednesday's murders had shattered the past few months of peace in a community that once has flare-ups of crime. He's calling on residents to work with the police to apprehend those responsible for the attack, which pushed the parish's murder toll to 11, the same as the corresponding period last year. Stop sending guns here. Prime Minister Andrew Holness yesterday warned Jamaicans living overseas who send guns to Jamaica to end the practice, as the government is intent on working with its law enforcement partners to find and extradite them here for prosecution. Speaking in the 2022-23 budget debate at Gordon House, Holness said that the government has been making calls on its security partners overseas to assist with the detection of guns coming into the island's ports and the interdiction of people living overseas sending these weapons to Jamaica. Our partners have been cooperating with us, both on guns and lottery scamming. However, from our side, we must show we are serious, Holness said. It cannot be that agents at our ports are complicit in facilitating the import of illegal guns and contraband and nothing is done about it. It can't be that lottery scammers and other unfit persons are able to get legal guns to carry out their illicit activities, he said. We are tightening up the FLA and customs. We are sending a message to our security partners that the Jamaican government is serious about stopping illegal guns, gangs, scammers and drugs, and will be seeking to intensify our cooperation with our security partners, particularly the United States, the United Kingdom and Canada, said the Prime Minister. I have a word to all those overseas sending back guns to Jamaica in barrels and TVs. Stop it. We'll find you. You mean us no good. Can't say me never did I warn you, he added. He pointed out that the government has remained unwavering in its strategic focus and resolve to disrupt and dismantle criminal gangs, interdict dons and gunmen, and confiscate every illegal gun in Jamaica. He argued that the failure in the past by successive governments to take meaningful and targeted action against Jamaica's biggest threat, the illegal gun, is having lasting consequences for the country today. This government has adopted a multifaceted approach to the problem of illegal guns through legislation, regulations, and law enforcement efforts. The Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Act has been tabled in this House and is now being reviewed by a joint select committee. It will introduce harsher penalties for offences connected with the illicit trade, manufacture, stockpiling, possession, profiling, and use of illegal guns, said Holness. At the same time, the Prime Minister told the House that last week Thursday he had approved the transfer of more than 100 acres of hilltop land from the Windsor Farm property in Warwick Hills to the Jamaica Defence Force for the creation of a special operations base. He said that this is a strategic location from which the JDF can take control of the mountain range in the area, which covers parts of the often volatile Mountain View Avenue and Rockford areas of Lower St. Andrew. It will also allow the JDF to conduct a range of operations in support of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and other national security goals. This is the first of many to come. We will not cede an inch of land for criminals to feel they have control and are out of the reach of law enforcement and the Jamaican state, he said. Jamaica reports 21 new COVID cases, 1 death. Jamaica reported 21 new cases of COVID-19 and 1 fatality on Thursday, according to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. This pushed the total number of cases of the virus since the start of the pandemic to 128,477 and the death toll to 2,858. Of the newly reported cases, there were 11 females and 9 males, with ages ranging from 6 months to 82 years. The sex of one of the cases was reported under investigation. The cases were recorded in St. Anne 8, St. James 7, Hanover 3, St. Thomas 2, and Clarendon 1. Meanwhile, the latest death is a 48-year-old woman from Hanover. Her death was previously reported in September 2021 as under investigation. The country also recorded 107 new recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 79,975. The positivity rate for the latest round of testing was 3.0%. There are 57 people hospitalized, 2 of them critically ill. There are 256 confirmed active cases on the island. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.